Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Coppin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union,
Good morning, Huntsville.
Hello. Welcome
morning.
Welcome in. A little,
Happy Monday.
Oh.
Another non-mimosa Monday.
no.
Do you have me off?
No, look what happened.
Uh-oh.
Why? Oh, no.
We're in the dark.
You know why? It's because I didn't test stuff, and I was in a rush this morning getting over here because I had to take my pup down to, normally this thing, we're just going to have to do a little,
There we go.
Oh.
Well, we're on this one.
Yeah, here we go. Hold on. But it's jumpy. It's jumpy. I'm going to unplug the power. I think what happens is this thing gets a little too hot, and it's pretty hot in the studio.
It is hot in here.
It's getting hot up in here.
Yes, it is.
All right, let's try one more thing. We're going to flip here. We're going to flip here, and there we go. There it is. Welcome
Here we
in.
are. Welcome.
in.
Good
to see
morning.
you. I love your blue this morning.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
thought we
it's
were
a-
done with the cold weather, but here we are.
Well, oh well.
Yeah.
But I like it. Are you a semi fan?
No.
Not at all.
No.
But
I
you're,
like the warm weather, poolside,
But you're not a fan of
mimosa.
But you're not a fan of coming in here when it's like 100 degrees.
No, I'm not.
But it felt better in here. Does it feel okay?
It's okay. It's a little warm.
It's what do you call it? It's not like reasonable. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word like it's like you can go through with it, but you really don't want to. You can tolerate it. That's
Yeah.
the word. It's tolerable. Mm-hmm. One day it was not tolerable.
No,
in
it
here.
wasn't. And I thought I was going to have to make an exit.
Yeah, you're like, Rob, I'm tired of being on. It's been 2 years of this junk with you. I'm
Hot
out.
box.
I'm out. So.
Yes.
Well, hey, welcome in Monday as we get rolling on this very lovely Non-Mimosa Monday.
Non-Mimosa Monday.
We got a special guest in the house today, none other than there's no other one,
Deanna Irwin.
Deanna Irwin in the house. Deanna doesn't realize it yet, but she's going to be writing a book one day that's going to be full of the best sarcastic jokes you've ever heard in your life, and it's going to be New York Times bestseller. because I don't know of anyone that's got the great humor that none other than Deanna Irwin has.
Right.
So she's here today, and we'll have her on in just a few moments. Always great to have Deanna. She was my very, very first, I don't know if you knew this, Karen, my very first interview ever on Hello Huntsville.
Really?
Now, the first
Celebrity in the house.
Yes. The first live interview was BJ McMichael, but the very, very first ever, I'm talking pre-McMichael, was Deanna Irwin met me at the old studio, which is now going to be a cool little artisan craft place. I went over there. They're going to open up April the 15th, by the way.
Oh, it's going to be a craft place?
Yeah, it's really cool. They got an old press, like an old printing press that they're rolling into this bad boy, and it's going to be pretty cool. So, but hey, welcome in as we roll here on, what is today? Is today the 7th?
Yes, it is.
Ooh, there's a big day coming up tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. For both of you guys. Tomorrow. Yeah, y'all share a birthday.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Birthdays was the worst days. Now we sip champagne when we thirsty. Just kidding. That was an old rap song. There's none of that going on. You know what I sip on now? Because the pastor here at church got me hooked. He mentioned it he does this news you can use on Thursdays. Have you ever heard of Poppy soda? It's like pop. There's Ollie Pop and then there's Poppy.
I haven't heard of it.
Oh, it's good. And it's got some fiber up in there, and the ingredients, you can read them all. And it's the first time that I've drank one of those things that actually taste tolerable. That's the word of the day, tolerable. There was one that's like a Dr. Pepper clone. It's called like Dr. Roy or something. I don't know what the thing is. If it's Dr. Roy, it sounds like Old Roy from Walmart. Like, you want some Old Roy dog food. But that one, the lemon lime one, you can't taste the difference. If you like 7-Up, I mean, you can't even taste the difference. And it's somewhat healthy. You know, normal soda's like 120 calories. These things are like 25, 30 calories. And it's still got a hint of sweetness. Are you a soda drinker? You don't drink? No. Do you ever like
Every now and then, yeah, Coke Zero, but I'm not a big
I wish
soda
that
drinker.
they would have never came out with Coke Zero because our refrigerator stays stocked with that. See, that thing stays stocked with it all, and I'm not talking like a little 6-pack of Coke Zero. Costco, which I love.
Yeah.
Thank you for that graphic.
I couldn't tag you in it, but I'm I got to send this to Rob.
Can you read that for us in a minute? Can I show it I got it on my phone. Can you read it?
But that wasn't even all of it. It was a whole long thing, and it was,
It was so good. I want Karen to read this. If you go to Costco, let us know on the show this morning because there is something really funny that Karen sent me this weekend. And I actually shared it with my father-in-law, and he goes, "Yeah, that's about right," because we were at HEB. So, but hey, welcome in. We are inching ever closer to episode number 500. I haven't did the math yet to see what day that is, but we're going to have a little special celebration here on the show, and we're very excited about that. Over 2 years now of being here, and it's thanks to you and this community that has allowed us to continue on this journey. You know, without your support, there's no way we would be able to continue promoting the good. And always a pleasure to have all of our friends on. As we get rolling this morning, big thank you to Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com. For all of your jewelry needs, go by and see my good friend, Mr. Elliot Herzlich. You can find out more information and schedule your appointment. Just go online to his website at elliotsjewelers.com. And, of course, a big thank you to our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union, the CRED, here with us today.
Union.
The Union. The Union, the CRED. I don't know what else. Is there like an internal nickname y'all have? That's that's family friendly. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know of any internal names that y'all have had. I haven't heard anything. I always say the CRED sometimes, or the Union here on the show. But when you think of credit union, think of Walker County Federal. They've been taking care of me and my family, and I'm just going to be transparent with you. Y'all gave me you didn't give it to me. I mean, I got to pay for it. But y'all provided me with a very nice debt payoff loan that is just helping out. You don't know how much that thing is helping us because I rolled it all together, and I listened to what's that dude, Dave Ramsey, and he said don't do that. But in our case, it just made more sense. It really did. I put the numbers together, and I was like, this makes more sense.
Saves you some money
instead of doing this debt
monthly.
Snowball.
Saves you a lot of money monthly.
Yeah, and I was like, this makes sense to me. Well, the reason I say everything's going to be all right, but we had to unfortunately stack on some credit unexpectedly, which I wasn't expecting. Eventually, we'll have a nice little reserve built up, but that's going to be some time. But many of you know our pup had a kind of a serious issue and unexpectedly out of nowhere. And I just couldn't live with myself knowing that he has a chance to live if I do this procedure. If I don't, it's, that'll be it. But the vet felt very strongly, not because they were trying to get money out of us, but they felt very, very strongly that we have a really good chance of saving our dog. And all we have to do is get the surgery and get this mass tumor removed. They found a couple nodules in his liver and spleen, but they said if the mass is low grade, if the mass is low grade, then it's a very low chance that those are cancer. If it's a high grade, then it's a high chance. They say if it's a low chance because he's 9 years old, and that those start showing up in older animals. And so, I don't know. I'm sitting here, I always said, well, if I have a pet, I remember saying this when I was younger. I said, if I ever have a vet bill that's going to exceed this amount, then I'll put my animal to sleep. I just said that, But then when reality hits.
When it happens, it's different.
Yeah, I was like, I can't. This dude's looking at me wagging his tail and he's happy. I can't do this.
Yeah, they love you unconditionally and yeah.
And I had my other dog. She lived to be 20. She got in really bad health pretty fast. And I knew that I had to put her down. There was no question about it. But with our dog Mac, he's got a good chance of making it for several. Who knows? I mean, who knows what the outcome will be. But I just couldn't do it. And then my little girl out of nowhere, I started crying because we're on the way to school the other day to tomorrow's promise. And she goes, Daddy, just the sweetest little voice you'd ever hear. She goes, Daddy, is Mac going to pass away? I'm like, how does my 3.5-year-old know that? And then she goes, I said, well, we're going to try to get him well. And so we've been praying over him. And so it's really neat. She just loves him. They have a special bond. And she goes, well, what if we take him to the hospital and give him some apple juice? I said, Brain, that would be so great if that's all we had to do. I mean, that would be awesome. So I rushed him down to the clinic on Thursday when all this really just happened. Someone was like, why didn't you take him sooner? I kind of wish I would have now when it was the size of my thumbnail. Because he had this fatty mass. And older dogs will get that. All of my dogs have had that kind of fatty mass. They get it right here on their neck. Well, this one kind of happened, on his side. And I started feeling in 2-3 weeks ago, it was the size of my thumbnail. I was like, no big deal. Well, then all of a sudden, this thing just blossomed into this softball out of nowhere. And then Bridget calls me on Wednesday, and she said, hey, I'm not trying to be gross, but she said, hey, there's blood on the couch from Mac. I was like, what happened? Well, it had blown up so big, he started scratching it.
Oh, poor baby.
And that really exacerbated it. And so I took him to Dr. Duvall. That's our vet. And he's wonderful. I don't think let me just say he's a great vet.
That's who I take my cats to.
Yeah. And the Old Moore Clinic was great too, but Dr. Duvall's been good to us. And he's not out for the money because if he was, he would have tried to do something. He said, man, I'm going to be honest with you. He's like, I can't operate on this. It's too big. He goes, I don't know how. He goes, I can get it out, but I can't close it up. He goes, you're going to need a board-certified vet surgeon that does this kind of stuff. And I said, well, so in my mind, what's happening? It's like the cartoon image, and I see the
register.
Yeah, the cash register.
Ding ding.
Yeah, and it's going. And then I'm sitting here and I'm closing my eyes and I see my house starting to fall apart and the car flipping over, breaking down, and and I was like, all right.
The dog's okay.
But the dog's happy and he's jumping around. And but he told me, he said, man, there's 3 or 4 places, and he goes, I'd try first or at Bryan College Station at the A&M pet hospital over there, part of the university. Well, they didn't deem it even though he did, they didn't deem it an emergency, which was kind of crazy because they're like, well, it's a mass thing, we can get him in June. And Dr. Duvall's like, you don't have till June, man. In fact, I don't think you have another couple of weeks. We need to get this thing out of here. So I started calling around, and finally that Blue Pearl in Spring took him.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that place.
But they charge you what a pearl necklace would cost.
Yes,
so
that's what I've heard as well.
But they do good work, and they've been very nice. And so I took him over there, and long story short, I've been over there 3 times now since Thursday. That's 80 miles every time, there and back. But they've been good, and they felt confident that everything is good to go. So
glad he's going to be okay.
Yeah, that's where we're at this morning, and thank y'all for the prayers. And we've had folks in the community support it, and so I'm really appreciative of that. I hate asking people for help, but this was that one time like I felt like we needed it, and so I just put something out there, and many people responded and helped share that. And so thank y'all so much for that. And that all started. This whole conversation started because after I said I wouldn't use any credit, well, guess what? I used a little bit of credit. I went back to that old guy that told me when I was in high school at the car dealership, no credit. Don't sweat it. 30%, no problem. Took me 5 years. No, I didn't do business with him, by the way. But hey, a great show lined up today. Do us a favor. Let us know that you're out there and what you're thankful for. I am thankful for this cooler weather. I'm glad we have a little bit of cool weather kind of hitting us. I know you're not, Karen, but I'm glad we have one more little bite of cool weather. And great time this past week. I felt so bad. I had Viola Hollis on the show from the Fair Association. I didn't even have a chance to get out there with everything going on. And then the weather. But I heard it was still a good showing.
Yes.
You ever get on the carnival rides, Karen?
Nope, I will not. I refuse.
I've heard too many news stories about carnival rides, and I'm just like, And I rode. There was this one ride we went on, Bridget and I, and she's like an adventure seeker. She'll go on anything. I'm like, Bridget, did you check with them and make sure their maintenance certificate's valid? That's how I'm literally, when I go to carnivals and stuff, I'm asking them do you have your inspection papers before I get on any of those rides? The one here is always great. I'm not putting them down, but we got on this one in Austin one time, and it's one of these things. It's on the spinning disc, and it's got a little. Think of it like a little boat that you get in, and the disc goes around, and you're kind of bouncing around on it. Well, we get on that ride, and all of a sudden, I look down after I got on, and there's a nut and a bolt laying on the bottom of it. And I was like, dude. And I'm yelling at the carnival dude. I'm like, dude, is that bolt supposed to be there? And he goes over in that washer, and he picks it up. He goes, oh. And he puts it in his pocket, and he goes, oh, everything's okay. And that thing started, man, and it was I told Bridget, I was like, I'm done for the rest of the night. I'm done. Those are kind of scary.
They are. I mean, my mom said, look at those rides. They bring them in on a truck, and they just prop them up, and then they fold them back down. And so anything like that cannot be that sturdy. So that's always stuck in my mind, and I'm just not getting on it. I'm sorry.
Did you ever, younger?
A long, long time ago. Before I knew really to fear it. And now I won't. I just refuse. I won't. I'll hold the purses and let everybody else go, but I'm not doing it.
I even get scared on the Ferris wheel, man. I get on that Ferris wheel.
No, not doing it.
I went to the one when Braylon was 8 months old. I went to the one in Houston at the aquarium. That one, I was like, okay, this one's here all the time. I know it doesn't move. When you're driving on the highway, you can see that one off the side of the highway. We went on that one. And then I went on one in Seattle that was really cool when I was broadcasting for Sam Houston. We had a game up there at Seattle University, and so we took a day and walked around Seattle. I went on that one, but sister, them carnival ones.
I'm not doing it.
And if you think that next time you go to a carnival, just walk around the ground, see if you see any nuts and bolts.
And if you do, don't ride it.
Yeah. Especially if the carnival goes, oh, okay, everything's fine.
We'll put that back in later.
He leans under the counter and just pulls out a Lone Star. Oh, everything's fine. Goes back to work. Yeah. Oh, well, hey, do us a favor again. Let us know you're out there. Let us know your thoughts about carnivals and riding on rides and all that fun stuff. And we'd love to hear from you. Many, many people are joining us this morning. Do us a big favor as we start this new week here. Can you just do a quick favor? All you have to do is share the broadcast, like the broadcast, and that will help bring in more folks watching. We always have a lot of people watching and listening this morning on the Spirit Radio FM app. Hey, before we take a brief break, I'm really not a huge sports fan anymore. I've just kind of got burned out. I really have. I don't know what it is. I used to be all about the Spurs and all about the Cowboys, and I know here it's people are about the Rockets and the Texans. I used to be about my teams, and especially college basketball. I was always excited about the March Madness and all that kind of stuff.
Did you watch the game this weekend?
Man, how about that? I was excited about those Houston Cougars. That is unbelievable. That coach, Jason Bain, on Thursday, he talked about this. 13 years ago, he shared a picture of one of their games, and there was literally 10 people in that whole arena, and this was the start of a game. And it was a regular season game. Nobody was there. And this coach has turned that program around. And now I think it's 5 years in a row they've made it into like the Sweet 16. And now, not only through all that, and the Elite Eight and the Final Four, how about beating Duke in true
the
comeback
last
fashion?
2 minutes, or last minute and 30 seconds.
That was pretty incredible.
It was.
And now they are playing for a national championship versus Florida. Boy, that is awesome. So go Cougars. Somebody had posted something about, it's so funny. Somebody, we're being positive on the show, but I'm in the Bearcat Athletic fan group, and somebody said, well, it would be great if all the Bearcat fans would support their team as much as they support Houston. I'm like, man, it's Houston's in there. Let's support them. Who cares? So pretty cool.
There's always that one person.
There's always that one. Go Cougars. All right, we're going to take a break. Don't know what we're giving away yet today. We'll figure that out in a little bit. So just hang tight with us because Deanna Irwin is here this morning. And we're excited to have Deanna, a very important event coming up here next Saturday. I mean, it's this Saturday, right around the corner. And we'll be talking with our great friend, Deanna Irwin, when we come back. A lot happening here in Huntsville. Stay with us, as always, on this Monday.
Non-Mimosa Monday, so feel free, anyone, to bring mimosas next week.
Nothing here.
Or not next week, because Toy will be here, but 2 weeks after.
Like, skip Toy, just wait till As always, we're here with the Walker County Federal Credit Union. They are your full-service community credit union. Check them out on Normal Park Road. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. Deanna joins us on the other side. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Looking for the perfect office space? Drive success with premier office spaces in Huntsville at Huntsville Executive Office Suites. Raven Property Management has moved in, and we're on site ready to give you a tour at 2503 Lake Road. Whether you're a startup, small business, or an established company, our Class A offices provide the professional environment you need to thrive. Flexible leases, modern amenities, and a prime location. This is where business gets done. Execute your success today. Visit HuntsvilleWorkspace.com to schedule your tour.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people, side by side. harbor of hope. We are safe inside.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville. Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
Back at it here on a... You heard what we call it, right, Deanna? A non-mimosa Monday.
Oh, yes, I heard that a while ago.
Well, a little history in the remaking here on this show. Just nostalgia as we welcome back on our first friend of the program. We'll start like having real mellow as we welcome back in our very first friend ever on Good Morning Huntsville. Deanna Irwin, welcome.
I feel like I need a crown or something.
We have one somewhere. I don't. We'll get you one next.
Okay,
next,
thank you.
Next time.
Next time, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, it's so good to see you. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. As I said earlier, Deanna was honestly our very first interview. We recorded an interview, and such a wonderful person. It's always so good to have you here, and been a friend of this program for so long, and you know we are so thrilled every time you come on. I always tell you I love your jokes though. By the way. You always have one day, Deanna, there's going to be the book of Deanna Irwin, and it's going to be a New York Times bestseller. Are you working on it?
No.
Not right.
No. I don't have time yet.
It's coming, though, right?
Yes,
one
it's
day.
coming.
I will buy the first copy.
I'll autograph it for you.
Please, and then I'll sell it on eBay and make
millions,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, Deanna is here this morning with the Peyton Irwin Foundation. I want to talk about that, obviously, here in a few moments. That's why you're here. Big, important event coming up next week. And I was telling somebody the other day about how you better, especially here in Huntsville, you've done such great awareness, you know, in honor of your daughter starting this organization, an organization that I wish you didn't have to start. But it's such a wonderful way to honor her legacy and to bring awareness to people. And if you're about texting and driving and distracted driving, and if you live in Huntsville, I'm going to tell you that's anywhere it's a big no-no, but especially here because of the message that you have put out over the years. I want to talk about the event in a few moments, but I know it's been a busy week for you, a little fairground action going on. Tell us what's been going on.
Yes, with our foundation, we try to find every way we can to get our message out there. And so I guess about 5 years ago, we started competing out at the Walker County Fair Barbecue Cook-Off, and at the Peyton Irwin Foundation, we're called the Peyton Cookers. And we have a good time. We get out there, we get our message out. We have always have some kind of paraphernalia to hand out to people. But for the last couple of years, we have the glow-in-the-dark buttons that say don't text and drive.
Yeah.
So usually by the end of Friday night, you look up and you just see all these green buttons walking around saying don't text and drive. So it's really fun to go out there. We have a good time and get our message out. So we have people coming to us, hey, do you have any glow buttons for me tonight? So
I love that.
It's fun, yeah.
Well, I know last year, you know, y'all won some awards. Now y'all won some different awards this year, from my understanding, right? What did y'all win this year?
Yes, when you go to barbecue cook-offs, it's not all just about the food. It's about having a good time and, you know, just spreading the cheer, I guess, with other people. And so we always, like I said, try to spread the message as well. And last year we took home Showmanship Award. This year we took home Showmanship and Entertainer of the Year. So it was pretty cool to get those nice trophies to add to our collection.
How does the Entertainer of the Year work? Like, what do you have to do for that one?
We actually have live music.
Okay.
Yeah, we had Buford Snowden come out this year, and he played for us, and we have dinner for everybody, and so everybody's welcome to come on in. We decorate, and we had the big theme this year is the greatest pineapple run on earth, which is a circus theme. And so we decorated and had our tent look like a real circus tent and clowns and animals. And so it was fun.
This year, are people going to dress? Are you encouraged to dress up like as a clown with the makeup and the hair and everything?
Whatever they want to do. We have a costume contest.
Oh, I love it.
And so we always have some interesting things show up. So
you're telling me I need to get on Amazon today and order something is basically what you're saying.
Exactly.
So if I show up like this, not going to cut it.
Well, you'll at least have a run T-shirt, so you'll at least fit in a little bit. So yeah, Billy's got a really nice costume. I just got it for him. We've been looking for it, and I found it yesterday. So he's gonna be like, the ringmaster. He's got a top hat and a red jacket with tails. So yeah.
There you go. Well, this happens every year. Is this the 5th year now? Sixth year already. And I'm going to tell you the awareness that you have brought forth in this community is so wonderful. And Deanna, many people know the story, but I just wanted to kind of let you highlight the importance of this event. And I know it's not an easy thing to talk about, but it is a great way that you're honoring your daughter's legacy. So maybe there's somebody new this morning that's watching the show or listening on Spirit Radio that says, I've never heard of the Pineapple Run. Maybe just kind of tell us what it is and how people can get involved.
Okay. In 2019, our daughter Peyton, who was 19 at the time, she was headed to San Antonio with some other friends and one of their mothers, and they were going to go watch the drill team perform over at SeaWorld for the, I guess you'd call it, national dance competition. And they didn't make it. They were rear-ended on their way over there, and Peyton, along with the other 3 children, were killed on impact due to somebody who was texting and driving. He was 18 or 19 at the time. The passenger in the vehicle was also the same age and was also on her phone. So literally not a single eye was on the road in that vehicle. Like I say, they rear-ended him, pretty much ruined his life as well. Had to go to court and watch him have to plead guilty and accept a couple of years of probation for this. Unfortunately, it's not a felony in the state of Texas. It's only a misdemeanor for texting and driving. And so, but it hit me at the same time. We weren't the only people that had to suffer because he has to live with that. Mm-hmm. And so we don't want anybody else to have to be in our shoes or his shoes. We don't want anybody to have to live with the fact that they took somebody's life or even just hurt somebody else or have to live without that loved one with them.
Yeah, I think, a lot of times when we hear of these accidents, you almost always think of drunk driving. You think of somebody that was under the influence. Well, in a similar way, texting is you're under the influence. You're under a device and you're not paying attention. There's things that you've helped me understand over the years that I never thought about, and I would say, well, I'd go to a red light and I would look down. And even at a red light, when you're on your phone, it takes your brain, I think you told me, 5 or 10 seconds to reset. And so a lot of people be on the phone, the light turns green. What do? They're still looking at it when they hit the gas. It's still so dangerous. And you always said, if you got something like a purse, throw it in the back seat, all that kind of stuff. You've taught me all these things. And I think that's so important because of the awareness that you're bringing. So through this tragedy, though, you found a way to honor her legacy, your wonderful daughter's legacy, by encouraging others and spreading awareness about distracted driving. So maybe highlight a little bit more about the event and just how it's grown over these last 5, now 6 years coming up.
Yes, we have grown. We started out with probably maybe almost 200 the first year. Last year we had 452 people. It's a pretty big number. Our ultimate goal is 500, and one day we're going to get there. But it takes a lot you got to reach people outside of Huntsville. This year we've got people coming in from Tomball. I've got somebody coming from South Carolina. I have no idea how they heard about us, but they're coming in. So, I mean, we're reaching people everywhere. They come in. We get to have a run. They get to have fun. I mean, for those people who find running fun, I don't find running fun, but those people who like that, they come in and they run and they hear our message, and we get to say our message one time, and all of those people hear that. And if they, my theory, if one person tells one person, then if there's 300 people there that day, that's 600 people that will ultimately hear the message, because hopefully they're going to tell one person. So we just keep trying to save lives by doing that, raising awareness. And then after the run, we always have some fun things going on. This year we've got some really big fun things going on. We have, well, first off, Rob, we got a really fun thing. You're going to be there with us this year.
Yeah, I know BJ couldn't be there this year, and you had reached out, and you don't tell Deanna Irwin no. That's one thing.
Is that what it is?
You don't tell Deanna no, and so when you reached out, I said I will gladly be there to help any way I can.
Well,
so.
we're excited to have you, and I know we're going to do good together because we've done these kind of things before, so I'm excited about you helping us get the message out.
We only got into that one fight that one time.
Yeah.
I still have a scar on my cheek right here.
Well, I was wondering if your black eye healed up very fast.
They call me Scarface in Huntsville for a while, and I didn't tell people why, but I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, this year it's going to be a great event too, because every year a new theme, and you always have that theme roll out, which is a lot of fun. But this year, the greatest pineapple run on earth. Let us know kind of what went in behind the scenes to come up with this year's theme.
Well, I have a friend who has access to just about everything and anything you ever want, and so
we need $1 million.
Well, except for money.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like me. She doesn't have all that money that I want. But anyway, she had all this circus decoration from an event that she had done a few years ago, and so we were like, you know what? Let's put that in on one of the runs. So we came out and played around with it and came up with the greatest pineapple run on earth. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We have some great things to give away this year. Medals are really awesome. You've got the website up there, and you can see the medal. That's always one of my biggest things, is to have the coolest medal and the coolest swag bag. And so this year, the first 400 people that register, and we're getting ready to hit 400, so if you want one of these, you need to get signed up now. They get the free old cooler bag, and that's a nice cooler bag. It fits up to, I think, 18 drinks in that thing.
18 mimosas, Karen. 18 mimosas.
18 mimosas or poppies.
She's like, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Yeah. Yes. I know last time you were here with us, you had just opened up registration. Now very close. So if you want to get this bag, they're running out.
Yep, they are. They are. And I can promise you there won't be any left if you wait till that morning to register. So, and if you wait till that morning, you got to pay more. So why pay more? Go ahead and register now. Get the bag, get the swag, get the awesome medal. And, don't even have to cross the finish line. We'll still give you a medal. So just come out. But I'm excited.
Well, it's a great event. And, again, such a wonderful way that you honor Peyton. I just think it's so incredible. A lot of times when things happen, we don't know how to respond. We don't know what to do, and I just think it's so admirable that you said, you know what, I'm gonna do this because I want to help others, and that just shows your heart and just how much you're compassionate about what you do, Deanna, and that comes across. I've always said on the show, it seems like every week there's something that comes up to where I repeat this, and I never mind repeating it. But if you're passionate about what you do, it will be successful. But your passion is because it has such a deep meaning, understandably, and that's why this event continues to grow and be successful. You mentioned earlier about people coming in from all over the place and all over the U.S., really. People come in for this event now. Has anyone ever approached you and said, hey, we want to do this in our town? Because I think I told you last time, but I still feel like one day this thing's going to kind of hop out of Huntsville. It's still going to be here, but I think it's going to multiply. Has anybody ever approached you about that and said, hey, we want to get this going in our community?
No.
Not yet.
No. We've thought about, like moving to Conroe or somewhere like that where we could reach that audience as well. But it takes a lot to put on this show or this shindig. And, I'd have to find a whole nother group because I don't know if my my team would be willing to
you'd have
do
to,
all that
you'd
every
have to
year.
find somebody to like.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like I think of there's a group called Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and they build beds for children that don't. I didn't realize this was a problem. There are children even in this community right here in Huntsville and in every town that don't have beds to sleep on,
Right.
and these children are sleeping. And I'm not knocking the parents. It's just the resource. Beds are expensive, and so these children. I'm not saying they're sleeping on a concrete, but they may have a blanket or they may have a mattress on the floor. They don't have an actual bed, and so Sleep in Heavenly Peace builds beds. Well, they started kind of like a grassroots how you have, and then they started finding people to run the other ones, and now those are popping up all over the U.S. In fact, we had a guy from Montgomery County that does theirs. We thought about starting one here in Huntsville, but I was like, I don't want to do any kind of capacity right now with what we're doing. But I think down the road, Deanna, I think the Lord's going to open up some door, and then all of a sudden the floodgates are going to open. And not only will Peyton's message be near and dear to Huntsville, but I really believe that one day that message is going to be spread throughout this country, because it is such an important event, and it is such an important opportunity that people need to have awareness. Don't text and drive. Don't be distracted when you're driving. Can you highlight just a few other things besides texting? I know I've alluded to some of them, but there's other things that people aren't maybe mindful or aware of that distract them when they're driving.
I'm sure. Taking care of that baby in the back seat. What are you doing? You're turning your head around and your eyes are completely off the road because you're trying to get that baby to quit crying. Just pull over off the side of the road, put it in park, find the pacifier, stick it back in, and take off again. I mean, that's typically what it is, right? Mm-hmm. Or putting on your makeup, or messing with your coffee, or trying to eat while you're driving, that kind of thing. Those are all distractions. Messing with your radio, put it on a radio station. If you have a button, do that from your steering wheel. But we don't realize how much it takes to do some of these things. Oh, I dropped something down here. Let me pick it up. Oh, well, hello. There's an 18-wheeler in front of me, or a kid crossing the road. So you don't think about those things. It's not just texting and driving, but it's just distracted driving in general is absolutely horrible. I think it was like 3,000 people in the U.S. are killed due to distracted driving every year. That's a lot of people. And it's all because I wanted to look at my phone, or I wanted to make sure my hair looked pretty in the mirror, or, something like that. Kids are distracted because they're doing this, driving down the road. They're having a good time. I know we were guilty of it, me and Karen growing up. And you don't realize how much attention you're taking away from the road. Just like you talked about drinking and driving. It took a huge effort. You know how many years it took for drinking and driving to become a big no-no? It was a law. You're breaking the law when you're drinking and driving.
Well, even how many years it took to where, because it was still legal. I was talking to a guy. He said, when I was growing up, it was legal for me to have a cocktail in my car and drink it. I'm like, who would have ever thought that?
Right.
And
so it took that many years to get to that. Now we have to get that mindset on texting and driving, because even when you're drunk, at least your eyes are still up, typically. When you're texting and driving, your eyes are completely off the road. You're sober, but you're not even looking at the road. Like, I can't even see them sitting over there, and I'm just glancing at my phone. A text takes an average of 5 seconds to review a text. As we've said 1,000 times, that's like driving with your eyes closed at 60 miles an hour. That's a whole football field that you just traveled in that little amount of time to check that text to tell me to bring home eggs, or, hey, oh my God, so-and-so just called me, whatever. So we don't get in a car with somebody drinking and driving. So speak up. If somebody's texting and driving when you're in the car, speak up. Say, hey, can I do that for you? Put your phone down, whatever it is. So that's one of the new things I'm trying to get into people's heads. We were very fortunate. I don't know if you heard about Shattered Dreams out at the high school this year.
I saw the hospital had posted something about that, but I didn't.
Yeah. Shattered Dreams, they actually reached out, and we got to go be a part of that. It was focused on distracted driving this year and not drinking and driving.
Oh, that's good.
And it was very impactful. And so I was really proud to be able to be there, because I hope a little bit of our story it may be what prompted them to be able to do that this year. They haven't done Shattered Dreams since 2012.
Wow. Yeah.
So they brought that back. They're going to do it every other year, and I want to be a big part in that. Whether they go do drinking and driving every other year or whatever they do, but it was very impactful. We watched from inside very little bit pieces of it because we weren't there when Peyton's accident happened, but I can only imagine, and it was very hard to watch. And so I hope that it had a huge impact on the kids, and that they do not text and drive, or they don't play with their radios and all of that kind of stuff. It was a very well put together program. They actually got to watch somebody pass away at the hospital, that was in the wreck that they got to. It was just amazing the way they put it together. But the whole community came together. The hospital, the police department, the DA's office, all of us came together to get that going. And the criminal justice department at the high school is doing some phenomenal work educating the kids.
Yeah,
so.
Let us know about that last year, because I didn't see it till after the fact, and I'd love to showcase that a little bit more and get the word out, because I think it's such an important event for these young people to see that and to know. You got to get over the mindset of, well, that can never happen to me, because anything can happen to anybody.
Exactly.
Murphy's Law says whatever can happen will happen, and that applies to any of us and anything.
I don't like Murphy.
I don't either. Although I like Murphy's oil because it makes your furniture look nice if you got old wooden furniture. So that's the only Murphy I like. So, all right. Well, somehow we went from that talking about furniture and Murphy's oil.
Well, there we go. You're really good at segueing into another conversation.
There you go. Well, it's Deanna Irwin with the Peyton Irwin Foundation. Friends, go online. You can find out more information at PeytonIrwinFoundation.org. The event's right there. You can sign up for the Pineapple Run today. The run will take place next Saturday, or this coming up Saturday. This Saturday. So all the details are there. You can register, get that swag bag. There's still some time, and come and please be a part of this great event. It gets started. What you're doing? It's an even. When does it get started this year?
It starts at 8:30. The run takes off at 8:30 in the morning, and the program starts at 8 a.m. And then we will go till 1 o'clock. We have some wonderful food going to be there from Rodeo Food Truck. She's going to be there starting early that morning to help feed Junkapalooza and feed us. And we have snow cones from Chill Out Shaved Ice going to be there. And then we have, like I say, the magic show. We have petting zoo, train rides, everything. So it's not just for runners. Come out and spend the afternoon with us. And a Jaws of Life demonstration will be there.
Cool,
so that's always interesting to watch. That's another thing that we typically don't watch or pay attention to because it's just too hard to watch. But if it's hard for us, we don't want it to be hard for somebody else. We want you to get the message. So
many people coming together in this community. I don't want to start naming too many sponsors because you have so many, but I know Comfort Pro Solutions is one of the big ones helping to put this on. And two people here that are going to be a part of this, Walker County Federal Credit Union, who is always so generous, and also Delphina.
They're actually a magic show sponsor this year, so thanks to them, we get to have the magic show. It's going to be a really good magic show. I'm talking like I think knives and maybe fire and.
I was wondering why Karen, like when I pulled up, Karen was in her car and I kept seeing these flashes of light and like knives flying around.
She's practicing.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was. And Delphina's here with Rodeo. Rodeo will be out there as well with, I believe, breakfast tacos that morning. So if you haven't had a Delphina breakfast taco, boy, you were missing out. She probably wants me to call it a Rodeo breakfast taco, but let's be honest, it's a Delphina breakfast taco. And I don't know if anyone. I love Sandra down the road too, but I'm telling you, Sandra, you got your work cut out for you when it comes to Delphina and those breakfast tacos. So. Well, Deanna, thanks for hanging out with us. Again, we appreciate you, and thank you so much for bringing this awareness. And through so much adversity and this tragedy, you have brought such a positive thing out of this. And I think that's the inspiration today is maybe we've all went through something in life, and some of us, things have been more serious than others. But think about those things that you've been through, and how can you utilize what you learned through that process to help others. I think all of us have something that we can take away from something that's happened to us in our life that we can turn around and be a blessing to somebody else and honor a legacy of those that have been here with us. So, Deanna, we love you. We love your organization, and we love your daughter, and we love what you're doing. And there's just no other word to describe it except thank you. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you for always helping me get my message out.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
There she is, Deanna Irwin, the Deanna. There's no other in our community. And so, again, go to our website, again, for more information. It's the Peyton Irwin Foundation online at PeytonIrwinFoundation.org. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. More to come here on the show as we continue talking about what's going on here in Huntsville. No keyword this week, Dan. If you could have a keyword, what would it be? It should be run. That should be it, Karen. The keyword should be run. So I think maybe that's – Karen and I usually come up with the keyword, but I got here late. Yeah, so the keyword, we'll make it run. We don't have anything to give away yet, but text in RUN along with your name on the Zero Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139. Again, it's
well,
RUN.
Bob, I'll give you a free run.
Okay.
An entry for a run. If whoever gets the keyword, they can come to the Pineapple Run for free.
Awesome. Well, we'll do that. Yeah, so a free run. You don't even have to pay, but we'd still encourage you to donate, still encourage you to support. But a free run, all you got to do is text in RUN to the Zero Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139. Thank you, Deanna, for that. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. More coming on. It's Good Morning Huntsville here on a wonderful, non-mimosa, non-mundane Monday here on Good Morning Huntsville.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Huntsville Executive Office Suites. Elevate your business image with prestigious move-in ready suites ranging from 150 to 3,000 square feet. Enjoy conference and training rooms, furnished and unfurnished options, custom build-outs, phone service, and a welcoming lobby. Coffee bar and dining area included for tenants. Benefit from 24/7 secure access and flexible lease terms. Located on Lake Road. Move-in begins in January. Contact Raven Property Management at 936-225-4378.
The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
Spirit of Huntsville,
Well, breaking news here on Good Morning Huntsville. We always like to, here, we'll do a little breaking news kind of, here we go. You hear that, Karen? Breaking news coming at you live here from Good Morning. Let me do the fake radio voice, Delphina. You ready? Breaking news coming at you live here this morning from Good Morning Huntsville. An official title for Delphina. The new official title is the Tamale Lady of Huntsville.
In the house.
Hoo, hoo, hoo. And we were thinking, Delphina, when you hopped on, we were thinking, well, I say we, Karen's like, I wasn't thinking it. You ever see the Oprah episode? It's like, you get a car, as they're joking around. Delphina's the new, you get a tamale, you get a tamale. So everybody in town has a moniker, when they come on this show. We have like the grandmother of Huntsville, which is Carolyn Gibson, the hug of Huntsville, which is Kay Boney. She gives the best hugs. The Heart of Huntsville, that is Tara Burnett over at Hearts Veterans Museum. Mm-hmm. Now we have the Tamale Lady of Huntsville, official now here in Huntsville. Nobody does tamales better than Delphina and Tilio. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
We don't have any things to give. We don't have any the award yet. Karen and I are working on it. Award sponsored by Walker County Federal Credit Union, paid for by Hello Huntsville. Mm-hmm. See, that's how.
Yeah, there we go.
So it works out. Well, Delphina joining us this morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me here.
Delphina, your last name is Perez.
Perez.
Right? Perez?
Mm-hmm. Perez.
And your husband's Tilio.
Yes.
Tilio don't like us calling him out, though. But we will. Tilio, good to see you this morning, Tilio. Delphina, you have worked so hard. Karen brought something to our attention. And, for restaurant owners, I think it's important that they be able to provide the products and services that they need to be profitable in a community. You found out many areas in Huntsville were dry areas, and what that means, they can't sell alcohol. Well, you found this out and have worked very hard to get signatures. You got the signatures you needed, which you were worried about it.
Yes.
But the community came through, and you were just over the limit that you needed to get that on the ballot. And now on May the 3rd, we've been talking a lot about the hospital bond, but also another very important initiative. Let us know what's going to happen on May the 3rd on voting day.
So we'll be on the election also on the ballot. So you'll have the option to hit yes. And please make sure you hit yes for the alcohol sales.
And this is important because there's areas, that don't. It's kind of a weird map. So maybe let us know a little bit about the background. And it's not just for you, but so many other restaurants as well, Delphina.
So there's like 7 still dry areas around in Huntsville. Like if you go in the city of Huntsville, I also have it on my Facebook, the map. It will show the dry areas so where you can see. So if mine goes in, so actually all city of Huntsville will go in. So all the city of Huntsville will be wet.
Gotcha. And Karen, I know this has been a big initiative too that you've been behind and fully supporting.
Oh, absolutely.
Let us know from you, just you're not the restaurant owner, but for you, this is important.
Right. And where Delphina's food truck is, if you're familiar with that, catty corner from that is wet. Right across the street is wet, but her corner is not. And so, if you like a little cocktail with your tacos and you go to the food truck, she can't provide that for you. So now she'll be able to, and not just her, but all of the other areas in Huntsville. And there's some places out on 75. And, a lot of people have said to me they're going to the Deer Lease or something and they might want to stop and get them a cold beverage. Well, they can't because it doesn't really just make any sense the way that it is. And it's just the way that it's happened over the years. But please support that. And it's not about supporting drinking. It's about supporting these other business owners to be able to offer that product in their businesses. And so it's an important thing to do. We'd appreciate a vote yes on the ballot.
Yeah, it's like anything done in moderation, and I don't have a problem with it at all, and I think it's important that restaurants are allowed to service their customers, and you guys are taking care of business. Delphina, you have just worked your tail off here in this community over the years. You're very humble. I know you'll never say, "Oh, I know I'm working hard," but you are. You're working your tail off. You and your family. I love Rodeo Mexican Restaurant, which Delphina is the owner, along with your husband Tilio. But I'm going to tell you, you've worked hard, and your family is so invested in this community. Just maybe let us know what Huntsville's meant to you over these years, because it's been over a decade now, right?
It's been 20 years.
20. I meant 2 decades. I missed the first one, but
yes.
But yeah,
long time.
Let us know these last 2 decades, just what Huntsville has meant to you and your family.
I feel like it's just like a whole family. Even at the restaurant, like you come at the restaurant, it's not like a restaurant. It's like a family. So everybody that comes to the restaurant is just part of the family, and Huntsville is too. So, and when you do something that so even my kids say this is not a job. It's like something that I know, like that you do every day, and it's not like a job. You just go do it. So it's part of the family. It's part of your life.
I love, Karen, when I go into rodeo and I'm there and your daughter Stephanie's there and her husband Mark and their children. I mean, it really is a family. I always joke around. I say Linda McKenzie is the living room of Huntsville. I just love going over to the Republican office and sitting and talking to her. Yeah. But I just thought about this. You're the dining table of Huntsville. You're that family dining table. When you go in, you're going to enjoy great Mexican food. You're going to enjoy good camaraderie. And I'm going to tell you what, people are going to talk to you. You're going to feel like you're at home eating at the table with your family. That's how I feel every time I go in there.
And if you come on Monday night, tonight, she always has trivia. On Wednesday, bingo, and Thursday, karaoke. So if anybody says, oh, there's nothing going on, there's nothing to do, well, come to rodeo because we got something for you.
The karaoke is going pretty good, right? I've heard it's. Are you singing yet, Delphina?
I don't even sing in the bathroom.
It's coming one day, though, Delphina. One day we're going to get Delphina to sing. So, but support. This is Delphina. Like I said, her and her family, they're just so important to this community, and we want to see small business succeed and thrive. And one way that it can succeed and thrive is by you going out. I'll be honest. I've supported this. We signed it. We wanted to see this work for you and your business and many other businesses here in the community. And so I just ask you, join me in voting yes on May the 3rd for this very important initiative to help bring this to these restaurants here and food trucks. This is going to benefit a lot of people here in the community. Yes. So, well, Karen, I know it's been fun for you. Y'all are, like you just said, y'all are there every Monday. I know trivia is going well. Mm-hmm. Delphina, maybe highlight how these events are helping to draw people into your restaurant as well, because they're packed every time y'all do stuff now. There's a lot of people in there.
Yes, it actually was pretty awesome. I know me and Karen would talk for a long time, and we were like, we had to convince Tilio to do things because he always says,
that's not going to work.
No, that's not going to work.
Tilio's working.
I said, well, let's just try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We haven't lost anything.
Yes.
It worked.
Yes. And bingo did the same thing. I mean, I was trying to do bingo for like the past 5 years. No, it's not gonna work. It's just no. It worked. And a lot of the times, like Karen said, there's nothing, like people say, well, there's nothing to do in Huntsville. Well, bingo is actually, there's a bunch of kids that go. So if you have your kids, the kids have fun doing bingo. And so we do bingo and we do loteria, so we rotate. And so if you're bored with your kids, you just bring them to the restaurant. Free ice cream too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing y'all are missing is like childcare there,
Yeah.
So that's
it's almost a babysitter. They're busy daubing their cards, so it gives them something to do and out of your hair.
Actually, there's like voluntary childcare, and what I mean by that is you bring your children in, and you always. I said it's like this is the dining table of Huntsville now. You're going to see somebody in there, and if you have children, they're going to want, they come here and let me hold you. So then I'm like, okay, here you go. If I know you. So I don't mind bringing my children in there. I wanted to say something too, Delphina, because when you get people together, we've been talking here at church, our whole series, we have a sermon series called Kingdom Culture, and it's kind of thinking from the top, from the bottom to the top. It's kind of flip the script and how can we build God's kingdom? And I know I'm tying all this in kind of in a weird way, but one of the things that we talk about is community. That's the whole point of this series is when we come together as a community, things happen. And just like in a church, you think about it in a restaurant. When people come together, there's conversations. People talk about life. They share memories. When people are part of a community, that's when things really start to happen. And I think about coming into your restaurant, and it really does. It feels like you're part of a family. You're part of a community. And I bring all this up because without me coming that one time, and I can't come all the time to trivia because of our children. That day we came, the kids were up pretty late. And I was like, we're going to have to get a babysitter next time. But I'll tell you this, it's so neat how the Lord works, because if I would have never came on that day, I would have never met Kelly Cruz, which would have never connected me to Rita B. Huff. And she gave me a tour, and we got to go visit the new facility. And that was a simple thing, going to your restaurant, the dining table of Huntsville.
That's awesome.
And meeting her, and then that connection formed. There was the community, and now we're able to promote even more good in Huntsville because of that.
Kelly's a regular too.
Yeah,
so
she's
we
always
appreciate her.
She's always there at
Yes.
trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so So again, I think it's May the 3rd. Isn't that a Saturday? Is that
Yes.
right? Am I getting the date right, or am I off?
But
on
we
that?
have
It is.
early election. It's
Early
April.
voting.
Early voting. It's the 22nd to
that's
the
right.
29th.
That is getting started in just a couple of weeks. So yeah,
Yes.
Tuesday the 22nd for 7 days through Tuesday the 29th. I would encourage you get out and early vote.
Yes,
And
please.
very important initiatives on that ballot, including this for Delfina and many other restaurants, and then, of course, the hospital bond as well. So I think it's going to be really good. I was telling you, I was like, I hope that they put you at the top because it gets you in the mindset, I don't know. I need to ask Irma if they've released the I know they put the sample ballots together for people to download, but I'll have to look on their website and see.
Yeah,
So.
they usually publish those sample ballots.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Karen, I know you and Delfina are great friends. Just Karen, real quick, just give a testimony how much Delfina and her business has meant to you.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I started going there. A good friend of mine, we'd meet there, after work, just get together. And so that's how I met Delfina, is going there all the time. And then I just felt like I became part of the rodeo family. And then when we started trivia, and she just does a lot and I'm not saying that because she's sitting here, but, because you and I have talked about it before.
We talk about her every Monday, really.
Yeah,
we always talk about you.
Yeah. But she does a lot for the community, and, I serve on the Safe House board as well. And, when we have things, she helps us with that. She just helps everybody with everything. And she's been a great blessing for Huntsville and our community, and I just really appreciate her a lot.
There you go. Well, if you're thinking about moving to Huntsville, you know what? Do it, because there's a lot of great people here in this community, including Delfina. I mean, you won't meet someone as nice and kind and genuine, and also though we'll tell it how it is, and we need that. We need someone to tell it how it is. So if you have a good conversation with Delfina, she'll tell you, and she'll set you straight if you're not on the level, right, Delfina?
Stop.
I'm just kidding.
We don't pull any punches.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Not sugarcoating it.
Well, again, appreciate you, Delfina. Go by Rodeo Mexican Restaurant. What are y'all's hours over there, just in case somebody new may be watching and saying, they've been talking this up. I want to go over there and eat some food. What are the hours?
11 in the morning to 9:30, Monday to Thursday, and Friday and Saturday it's till 10, and we're closed on Sundays.
Good, and that was important. You need to close on one day a week, Delfina, because you weren't for a while. It was 7 days a week. Go.
We did it for 17 years.
Yeah, no more.
No, we have Sundays
no
off.
Mas. You need to have Sunday off.
Yes.
So take care of yourself, because we need you, Delfina. We need you. And your husband, Tilio, too, is such a wonderful man. I think the world of your husband. He's such a kind guy. And
well, he puts up with me. He's a wonderful man.
Yeah. Because there you go. He's trying to keep him on a level.
She can be a lot.
Yeah. Well, there it is. And I guarantee when you go in there, Delfina more than likely is going to come by and say hi to you.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so important. When you think about restaurants, that's something that always means something to me when I go out to eat somewhere, that even if I know the owner can't always do it, but if there's a manager or somebody that comes out and, out of all the big chain stores that there are, the only one, and I'm not putting any of them down, Texas Roadhouse does it. They do a really good job with it. But Chili's, the manager at Chili's always comes up and asks us how we're doing. And that means something. And especially with the small restaurant, it's not a chain. We need to support local. Just as important as everything. I think local business is the heartbeat of any community. And when you're there, Delfina, I don't know how you do it, but everybody, you notice, you notice, and then you get to know everybody that walks into your restaurant, which is great. Mm-hmm. So go by Rodeo Mexican Restaurant there, just right next to West Hill Mall, down the street, not too far. What's that shopping center called over there? I forget.
West Hill.
West Hill. Down, so down from the mall right there at West Hill Shopping Center. Just go by and see her. It is Delfina Perez and her family, Tilio and the whole family. Did I say Perez right?
Yes. My daughter says her last name is Perez, and her dad is Perez. So
I'm in the middle, Perez. My dad grew up in the valley. He was he grew up in the valley, and so my dad could speak Spanish very fluently, and if I wouldn't say it right, he's like, that ain't how you say it, son. You need to correct it, because if you're going to say it, you're going to say it right. So he taught me to roll my R's. Mm-hmm. So my real name is Roberto. So, there she is, Delfina. Go by the dining room of Huntsville over there, at the dining table of Huntsville at Rodeo. Thank you, Delfina, for being here.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take one final break. I know we started just a little bit late today, but we're going to wrap it up when we come back. We're going to give away a run to the fun run. You're looking forward to being there. You're going to be there with the truck.
Yes, I'm going to be there with the truck.
And you're selling breakfast
tacos.
Oh, please do those in the morning. I would eat Now, look, I support it. I support others. You know, I like Miss Sandra down the street. You know, I like her too. But I would probably eat breakfast tacos with you like twice a week if you would have them because they're that good.
Well, you can come and see me on Saturday.
Okay. All right. Well, there she is. I'm going to go see her at the run. I have to be there at the run, too, by the way. All right. Final opportunity. We're going to give away. And by the way, we do have some gift certificates to Rodeo. We're going to give those away a little bit later this week. So thank you for those, Delphina. Today, though, we are going to give away that run. And all you got to do is text in the keyword. It's not aware. I'm sorry. It is run.
Run.
Aware was last week. Keyword is run. Text that in. Your chance to win a free pass to the fun run coming up on Saturday. So
April 12th.
Pineapple Run, not the fun run, the Pineapple Run. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. We'll close it out when we come back. Stay with us. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Billy Cawthon of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, and you're listening to Spirit Radio, the spirit of Huntsville.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
All right, a little chilly day on the way here in Huntsville, Texas. Thanks for being with us on this very wonderful morning. Nice and cold morning today, Karen. But hey, we'll take it. I'm all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's not too bad. So, welcome back at as we continue on. We'll wrap up the show here in just a few moments. And Karen, good to see you. Hey, where are you at, Karen? Oh, where'd you go?
I'm over here.
Hi, Karen. I said to Karen, hey, I was lazy. I said just stay there so I don't have to get up and adjust the cameras. so we had Delphina put the Hornet helmet here for us, a little hometown community spirit, hometown community pride right here, Huntsville Hornet helmet. You know where I found this? I was at an antique. I love going to antique shops, and we have some awesome ones here. I don't get to go much anymore because of the kids, but I want my daughter to like, oh, I didn't even realize this has a name inside of it. Travis Pip. P-I-I-P. Anybody know of Pips here in Huntsville? Got the hip and the pip. It literally has some kid's name in it.
How about that?
So I was at one of the antique stores, and this thing was sitting up on a shelf, and I just asked, is everything in here for sale? Yeah, pretty much everything, whatever you see. I said, what about that helmet up there? It was like a decor. Oh, I don't know about that. I said, yeah, I'd like to buy it. And then at the time I was broadcasting, she goes, oh, you're that young man that does the games, right? I said, yeah. She goes, I'll sell it to you. I thought it was going to be like $30. I mean, these helmets aren't cheap. She goes, oh, $5. Done.
Huh.
And John Volkmer made that Sam Houston helmet for me. And he brought it to me when I first started Hello Huntsville. But little hometown spirit there with the Huntsville Hornets. Well, hey, we're not going to head over to the line. That service isn't working right now, but we'll reach out to you and text you after the show. I can't get our telephony system to connect, but come out to Rodeo tonight.
Yep, trivia tonight. We'll start at about 6:15. Bring your friends, show off your knowledge, have a mimosa, and some tacos or burritos or tamales, whatever. Delphina, that's the one thing about Delphina. If it's not on the menu and she has it in the restaurant, she'll make it. So if you want pancakes or biscuits and gravy, or if she's got the stuff, she'll make it.
I think we'll call it that. What should it be, the dining room of Huntsville or the dining table? What do you think? What sounds
Either one.
The dining room of Huntsville. Let's call it the dining. The dining table sounds more family though, but the dining room sounds more grammatically correct.
Yes.
The dining room of Huntsville.
Either one's good.
People know what we're putting
Yes.
down. So, well, Karen, what else you got going on? We're about to wrap it up. What else is going on this week? I know busy week working and everything else.
Work this week. Also, don't forget May the 3rd is the Walker County Area Texan Go Texan Crawfish Boil fundraiser for the youth of Walker County. I personally have sold all the tickets I have.
Oh, nice.
Yes, we're only selling tables of 8, $300, all you can eat, crawfish. We'll have fried fish, all the fixins, BYOB. We're going to have a band. We're going to have a raffle auction type thing. We're going to do a little bit different this year as far as the raffle auction, but we're going to have some really neat stuff. So if you want a table, you can contact me and I can get you hooked up with somebody that has them, but I've already sold everything that I have. So it's a good deal. $300 for
not
eight
bad.
People.
Basically what Karen's saying, she did her job.
I did.
Yeah, she did. Anytime I had those raffle tickets, I'd still have a stack. I didn't do my job. Karen did her job.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Well, great. Well, thank all of you for hanging out with us. As always, by the way, our streaming is brought to you by Huntsville Memorial Hospital. There's been a lot of questions out there floating around the bond, and HMH is not endorsing the bond. There is a PAC that does that. Those are two separate entities. But if you would like factual information about the upcoming bond, I encourage you to go to Huntsville Memorial's website. That is online at huntsvillememorial.com. There's a news section, an FAQ, and all of the facts are right there about what this bond entails. So big thank you, as always, to Huntsville Memorial Hospital. They are our streaming provider here, helping us to bring you not only this program on Facebook, but really 3 different avenues on Facebook: YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Spirit Radio. I'm leaving out one: Instagram and something else. We're broadcasting all over the place now. So,
Facebook. Did you say Facebook?
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So big thank you to HMH for helping us with our streaming platform. Well, that will wrap it up. Karen, fun day. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for bringing on Delphina. I enjoyed having Deanna too and talking about the pineapple run. You guys are very involved in that with the magic show.
Yes.
So,
but
we
love to support that.
You're not doing the magic though.
You don't want me throwing knives, I promise.
Awesome. Well, hey, by the way, I know we talked about all these events and all these great things happening here in Huntsville. Go by and see our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union. Go by on a Friday. Go set you up an account, get some cookies, and go by on a Friday and get you an account set up over there. Whether you're looking for loans, personal, commercial, they've got you covered. If there's something they can't do, they'll let you know. But just go in with any questions you have. Always say, you don't know if you don't ask.
Right.
So go in and say, hey, do you do this? Yeah, we do. Great. Let's sit down and talk about it. Do you do this?
And if we can't, we can probably direct you to somebody that can help you.
Absolutely. They even provide car warranties. I'm getting, y'all even have, it's small, but it's enough to help with like a funeral expense. Y'all even offer life insurance and
accidental death and dismemberment.
Yeah. Yes. And there's one that y'all don't even charge for it for the small one. I think it's like $2,000.
$2,000.
Yeah. There's no charge for that. So there you're already covered with that right there.
Right.
So go by and see them. Walker County Federal. They're located on Normal Park. They can do everything that the big dogs can, because you know what? Sometimes the big dog think they got it going on, but that little one is a cute one that everybody wants to be with.
That's right.
So I don't know what that meant. That was really corny. It makes no sense. Don't ever
Just
say that
come
again.
see us.
Go see them. All right. That'll wrap it up, friends. Have a wonderful and blessed week. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Busy week here on the program. We will be tomorrow, actually. It's going to be really cool. I forgot about this. Tonight, I'm moving our studio equipment. No, I think that's next week. No. That's not right. Tonight, I'm moving our studio equipment over to Huntsville Executive Office Suites. We're going to do the show live from Huntsville Executive Office Suites tomorrow.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah, we're doing
I haven't been over there yet.
Yeah,
so we need to do it on Monday.
Yeah, it's our hometown spotlight. We try to do this at least once a quarter. It's been a while since we've done one, but we're going to take the show on the road tomorrow morning, again, over at Huntsville Executive Office Suites. And we'll be with Jason Thompson and Guardian Defense. And we will have Eric Fugate talking about the great things that they're doing over there at the new office building. That'll wrap it up. We'll be back at it tomorrow, bright and early, 7:30. Until then, as I remind you, like I do every morning, that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand to support Huntsville. Somebody out there needs you. Until then, Karen, so long. Have a wonderful
Everybody have a great Monday and the rest of the week.